Hello and welcome to the Grow Landscapers 10-minute business tip series, a show that gives you bite-sized nuggets of wisdom in just 10 minutes. I'm Nick Ruddle and today's guest is Paul Lynch from Elm Tree Garden Contractors in Bristol. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you, Nick. I'm good.
Excellent. Well, welcome back. You're on the first series, so much so good that we asked you back for a second time. That's a compliment to you. So I know you run a very good business. And recently with your pro landscapers and the last 2 years of Supreme winners, and this year with commercial company of the year, lots and lots of good business experience. And this is a business landscapers podcast. So who better to have on than yourself? So appreciate you making the time to come on again and helping others in the industry. What I will do is I'm going to stick, as I said to you earlier before we came on, I'm going to stick the stopwatch on, and then that'll be 10 minutes, and then I'll be asking you for your first tip. So without further ado, Paul, what is your first tip?
My first tip, it probably won't come as any surprise to you, Nick, is look after your people. Um, we know that it can cost up to 20 grand to recruit and train somebody new. And if you look after the people that you've got, then it's going to reduce your ongoing costs in recruiting. So you're a lot better off trying to look after the ones that you've got now. If you've got a low retention rate of staff, it's going to be quite difficult to grow your business.
Mm,
One really important aspect for us is mental health, and just to be open with mental health on the company, to recognise that some people could have issues, and to be open and enable them to come forward and to talk to mental health first aiders. We have one of our managers at the moment was going for a promotion last year, at the start of last year, and he wasn't ready. He was getting himself in a little bit of a state about it and didn't think he could do it and what have you. So we postponed the
mm.
promotion for a year. And at that time, we put him in touch with a counsellor. He went through 6 counselling sessions, I think it was. And by the third session, he knew as well as we could. He knew as well as we did that he could do it. And
Mm.
so we promoted him at the end of last season, and this season he's absolutely flying. But it could have been handled a lot differently by another company
Mm.
that wasn't so prepared to be patient and invest time in their mental health. Um, Another thing with trusting people, as long as they're working within your broad guidelines, it doesn't matter how they get there. Um, you have to let them learn from their own mistakes.
Mm.
Don't step in unless you can see something going really wrong. Even if you're going to lose a small amount on a project, let them lose it, but they'll learn from that, because it won't affect the overall business. You need empowered people to develop the business, and if you don't give them the trust and the freedom to make their own mistakes, they're not going to be empowered. The next thing on looking after people is involving them in decisions. We've done that for the last 15 years or so, since we started doing investors with people, and that is so important because it makes them feel part of it.
Brilliant. At Action Coach, we have something called the 6 keys to a winning team. Number 5 and number 6. Number 5 is supporting risk taking, which is enabling them to make their own mistakes. And number 6 is 100% involvement and inclusion. So you're spot on there. Really good. Look, fail your way to success is what I say. As long as they're not like badly thought out actions, but you try and you think, okay, well that didn't work. What else can we try? And then you're always going to finally you will get there. Excellent. Love those. Number 2. We got number 2 with tips.
Number 2 is honesty, transparency, and integrity.
Wow,
Um,
brilliant.
those are some of our key values, really, and it involves things like when you've made a mistake, you put your hands up and admit to it, whether it be to a colleague, whether it be to a client. You get a lot more respect from people by doing that.
Mm,
And yeah, goes a long way. And I'm always the first one to put my hands up if I've done something wrong, because people, my colleagues, will know that it's okay to do that. Then we don't
mm,
want things to be hidden, because then you don't know what's going to be hidden, and you don't know what's going on underneath the surface. So put your hands up. Don't be afraid of transparency, and by that I mean transparency with clients as well.
Mm,
If if um, if it's going to help the business for a client to see what your base costs are and what your margin is going to be, don't be afraid of that. They know you have to make a profit. They know that you're in it as a business to make a profit. And I'm not saying we do that for every client, but occasionally the need arises where transparency is key.
amazing. That really is the definition of transparency, isn't it? But three brilliant values there, both internally and externally, equally as relevant as an important.
Uh, uh, uh,
Really like that.
and also, it's important for you to be able to trust your team. If they know they're going to get shouted down for a small mistake, they're not going to be open with
No,
you. So
no.
you've got to be open in the first place. And all of this is about trust for long-term relationships. If a client knows they can trust you, they're going to carry on using you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you try to cover something up and you get found out, they're not going
Mm,
to use you again.
no. Once you lose the trust, it's like any relationship in life, isn't it? Be honest, have integrity, be transparent, and
Yeah,
you get the trust,
yeah.
whether it's with your wife, your kids, your friends, your family, or at work. Then those are just great values to have as good, decent human beings, aren't they? Excellent, love that, Paul. Really like the fact that you tapped into the values. Number three, what have you got next?
Number three, look after your cash flow. It sounds quite simple, and it is quite simple, but there's a lot more to it than just chasing money. It's important to do your monthly management account so you can pick up where things are going wrong or going right. Deal with any issues straight away rather than wait until the end of the quarter, the end of your 6 months, the end of your year to find out that some things gone wrong. KPIs are important, not just the finance related KPIs, because you'll find that quite a few other KPIs will relate to finance in some way. So, for
Mm,
example, one of ours is quality audits of our own work. So, our managers have to go out and do a certain number of audits per month, and we look at the scores of those. But even those will help to ensure repeat custom, because you're maintaining the quality of your workmanship out on sites, and because you're ensuring repeat custom, it means you don't need to invest as much in
mm,
marketing to win new clients. So
mm,
that quality audit has an impact on finance, and obviously credit control is really important. So you need to be, depending on the size of your business, if it's just a one-man band, then you need to be looking weekly at what you're owed and chasing. If
mm.
you're larger size company and you've got a credit controller in place, and you need to be setting KPIs for them so they feel empowered to chase, and they have steps. So once it gets to a certain stage, they don't feel afraid of putting their foot down and withdrawing credit facilities and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's it really.
Brilliant. Yeah, cash is king, and they say it's 6 times cheaper to keep an existing customer coming back than it is to go out and buy and acquire a new one. Very wise, knowledgeable business owner that you clearly are, because those three things are absolutely crucial and really, really, really valuable ones for people to learn from. Excellent. Well, that's amazing. So I've got two other questions for you. You know what they are. First one is, what do you think we could do to attract more people to the landscape industry?
This one's not quite so easy for me. For me, it's about selling the job satisfaction, because out of all of the other trades that we see on some of our commercial and new build sites, landscaping is the one trade that you can really get job satisfaction by creating something and seeing it progress from day one through to the finished article, and really be proud of what you've done. We need to be trying to sell that more as a career, the job satisfaction part of it. Not many of our people started out with the intention of going into landscaping, but
Mm,
once they did, they could see they get a lot of job satisfaction from it. So we can train people who weren't necessarily keen on landscaping in the first place. We just need to get them in there. Once they're in there, we can
yeah.
get them trained. The attitude is so important. if we can see they've got the attitude at the interview stage, we can work with that. We can mold them.
Yeah, raising awareness, isn't it? Just to really sort of showcase and shout about the job satisfaction and making it more attractive as
Yeah.
an industry to people. Definitely a great career, but if they don't know about it, they're never going to discover it, are they? Excellent, love that. So final one is for you personally, as a business owner, what do you do to keep growing and learning yourself?
So I never stop learning. I don't think any of us do we? And when you say when you say you know everything, it's time for you to give up.
It's dangerous.
If, for me, it's about reading. I read a lot of industry publications, Pro Landscaper, Hort Week, just to see what the latest thoughts are out there. Keep an open mind on everything. At the minute, as an industry, we need to be looking to see what AI is going to be doing, whether there's going to be any inroads for us to use AI at all in the next couple of years. Listen to others a lot. Ask for help. Our industry is such a friendly industry,
Mm.
and you will find through networking and going to either your Bali meetings or your APL meetings that there is somebody out there that's had the same issue that you've had before. Never be afraid to ask for help. Last Friday I picked up the phone and spoke to Paul Downer of Oakview because I wasn't sure on something. I had an issue with a tender I was doing. I hadn't come across that before, so I phoned up Paul. And our industry is so friendly. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, very, very good. And some people like Paul, so abundant, aren't they? I mean,
Mm.
I've been coaching Paul for 11 years, and it's the
Yeah.
reason why I am in this industry because of when he was chairman and goes around the country, doing talks. I discovered what a great industry it was and how friendly people are and how abundant people are. And this is why we're doing this, because everyone here, all the guests, they want to help people. So yeah, never stop learning. Absolutely, it's a dangerous day when you do. But yeah, the old AI is coming, whether people like it or not. So you got to be in it to win it. So love it, love that, love everything you said there. I couldn't have picked three better tips and great advice. You clearly know your stuff. Very wise young man. Until later on this year when you're hitting the
Not
same sort of
sure
age
about
that I'll be doing next year, but we won't talk
5 years.
about that.
Yeah.
Paul, really, really appreciate your effort and your thought you've put into this. Really shows that you've had a lot of ideas. I know there was loads of other ideas, and we spoke about one earlier, but three top tips. So once again, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you coming on again, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers, Paul.
Thanks, Nick. Cheers. Bye bye.